There comes a moment when a system can no longer be corrected, only interrupted. Genesis 6:13 records the moment resolution is spoken. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. This is not an impulsive declaration. It is the end point of a long pattern. Corruption had been observed. Violence had spread. Truth had become visible. What had once been forming beneath the surface could no longer be denied. The end of all flesh is come before me. This is the language of resolution reached, not because patience failed, but because truth had fully matured. The condition of the world was no longer partial, hidden, or ambiguous. It had become complete. For the earth is filled with violence through them. The collapse was not isolated. It had become systemic. What lived within humanity had spread outward into the structure of the world itself. Thin-skinned sensitivity had become reaction. Reaction had become conflict. Conflict had become culture. And culture had filled the earth with violence. Genesis 6:13 reveals something difficult, but necessary. When distortion is repeatedly protected, truth eventually names the system for what it has become. This is where truth and leadership meet. Leadership does not act because it is emotional. It acts because resolution has become necessary. And God said unto Noah. Noah stands here as settled resolution. He is not introduced as panic. He is not introduced as resistance. He is the one able to receive difficult truth without collapsing beneath it. That steadiness matters, because when reality must be reshaped, clarity must first be entrusted to someone who can bear it. Genesis 6:13 is not merely about destruction. It is about the moment a system crosses the threshold where restoration requires interruption, not to erase what was intended, but to preserve what can still be aligned with it. And underneath the judgment, a quieter truth remains. Faithfulness does not depend on recognition. Truth does not always need to be defended. Sometimes, it only needs to be lived. Reflection. Question. How can we recognize when patience must give way to decisive action? Prayer, God of truth, give me the wisdom to recognize when patience is needed and when clarity must lead to action. Guard my heart from reacting in anger, and guide me to respond with discernment. Help me remain steady when truth becomes difficult to face, and teach me to walk in faithfulness even when recognition does not come. Amen.
Now let's step into the moment. This truth was spoken. The earth had become filled with violence. The earth had become filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth.
And God said to Noah, The end of all flesh has come before me.
For the earth is filled with violence through them. Violence filled the earth when truth was no longer protected.
The future is preserved when truth is guarded early. That responsibility belongs to every generation.